This conference will now be recorded.
Hello all, welcome back uh, for another session on performance testing using NeoLoad. Okay. So let's have a quick recap on what we had done in the previous session. In the previous session, we had briefly discussed about what we had done in the previous batch, what all the uh, area that we are going to learn, the different modules that are involved in, the components that we are going to discuss, various standards, best practices, and many other aspects that we are going to learn as a part of this course. We've also briefly discussed about different types of testing tools. So we just made a simple comparison on when and how these tools stand out, right? And they're a little bit on their pros and cons. Okay, and we have went ahead and recorded this simple workflow. Okay, and it is just an unauthenticated workflow. So we will discuss further as we progress. Okay, in this session what we are going to learn is we are going to learn about how NeoLoad can be downloaded, installed, and how a license can be procured. The license is a trial license. This license can be used for execution purpose. License is not required for designing the user path, that is creating a script, enhancing them, and creating a scenario, that is on the runtime, creating populations. All of these activities can be done even without a license. If you can see, I'm just going to the license management. Okay, if I'm going to license management, what you can see, I can see there is no license as of now. I haven't installed any license on this machine, but still I'll be able to carry out all these various activities, that is recording, enhancing, correlation, parameterization, whatnot. All of them I'll be able to do it without license. License is required only if we are going for the execution. Okay, so let's see. So I will also like to see which version I am on. Okay, I am on version 8.1.1, which is the latest version, I believe. But I would like to also show you guys on how NeoLoad can be downloaded and installed. Okay, so you can go to neotis.com. Okay, as you can see already, neotis.com. Neotis is the original developer. Neotis has been acquired by Tricentis. Okay, so it has become a Tricentis company now. And as you can see here, there is this try NeoLoad button. You can click on this. This would take you to uh, this Tricent. Now you see this, right? The address bar has been changed. The address has been changed from Neotis to Tricentis, and you can click on this. Right, go to a latest version where you can download. Again, it is coming back to neotis.com. Okay, here you will be able to see the latest version. Okay, based on your system and the architecture that has been the operating system's architecture, you can download the desired version. Okay, so since I'm on Windows and it is on 64-bit architecture, I can download this Windows installer. Okay, in case if we, for some reason, if we need a previous version, can also uh, go through some of these stable releases. Okay, can go through this and then you can also download them. Okay, so I have already downloaded and I'm also on the latest version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit NeoLoad, and I'm going to uninstall this. Okay, so that I can show you a clean installation. Okay, so all this, some of this applications that has been installed in my system, so I've decided to uninstall. Okay, and it is best. So one best practice here, in case if we need to uh, upgrade from one version to another, for example, let's say I'm on a NeoLoad 7 and I would like to upgrade from 7 to NeoLoad 8. In that case, it is best we uninstall the existing uh, version, the existing tool that has been already installed, and then do a clean install. Okay, so now I have removed it. Okay, so I'm just going to go to my downloads. I already have this setup. I will also show you how you can prepare this trial license. Okay, so let this load. I think maybe it is taking some time. Okay, so installation wizard, it has started.
So Naveen, is there any prerequisite before installing NeoLoad on system? Like for Jmeter, we must install JDK on our system. So for NeoLoad, any such things?
No, there is no such prerequisites. Thanks for this question. Of course, with Jmeter, it is there that JRE or JDK needs to be installed so that the Jmeter would work. But in NeoLoad, there is no such requirement. However, the the fundamental for NeoLoad is also Java. Okay, but it gets installed as a package along with this installation. Okay,
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
so I'm
Thank you.
selecting English. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please go ahead. You are having some question. Sorry to
No, no,
interrupt.
no. Thanks,
No. Okay.
thanks, Naveen.
Okay. Okay. Sure. So now we are in the welcome screen setup. Just have to click next, and of course, if you have time, you can read this license agreement. So I'm just going to go ahead and accept this. Click on next, and here it is best that we always select the controller. Okay, as you can see this, the controller option is the recommended option, where this will also have the LG and the monitoring agent along with it. So it is best we select the controller and then go ahead and install it. Okay, these are the some of the additional setup. Okay, where it is highly involved with this WAN emulation and terminal services. Okay, so if it is needed, you can enable it. Okay, for now I'm just going to choose I don't want these services. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and then click next, then again next. You can select the desired location where this tool has to be installed.
Hey Naveen,
Next.
hi.
Yes,
Yeah. Uh, what is the purpose of that terminal services and the back screen?
yes, it is just an additional feature where you can control some of this uh, uh, this network emulation and a few other aspects. but it is for I would say advanced users. Okay, for starters, you need not worry about it. Okay, but,
Okay.
but usually it is yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to install it for all the users. Okay, just click on next and let the installation continue. Okay, in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up uh, uh, so how you can moment it is okay. So how you can get your NeoLoad licenses? Have to go to tricentist.com and then go to this products. Under this product, click on Tricentist NeoLoad. After coming to this page, just click on free trial. Okay, this would take you to this page. Okay, where you can apply for trial. Okay, you can see this, right? You have this you have to provide your details here. Okay, already it's filled. You can just provide this information and then click on request trial. So when you click on request trial, this will not. So recently Tricentis has a um, some kind of uh, let's say some kind of constraint where a public email you cannot use it to sign up. You would probably need a official email ID or your company's ID to sign up for a trial license. Okay, once you sign up, you will have, so you can see this, right? So I have just used this information to sign up, and I will also share you this link. So I just put it on the chat box. You can use this link, that is neotis.com/account area. If you just go here, it will ask you to log in, and you can use your email ID and password, log in and go to your license, and here you can see this, right? So this license would be expiring in 5th June. Okay, I just activate it now, and you see this, right? This 8.1. If you click on this, the license file would get downloaded. Okay, so this is almost done. So once the installation gets completed, I will also show you how you can import this license to your tool. Okay, for um, for learners uh, who does not want to do any execution yet, you need not worry about the license. You can still do a lot of activities. That is 70 to 80% of the activities can be done in through without a license. Okay, so let me just go ahead and run NeoLoad. Okay, so meanwhile, if anybody has any queries, you can ask. Okay, so this has started. So if we do an upgrade from let's say some 7 to 8, so what I've just did is I was already having the latest version. I uninstalled that just to show you how the installation is done, and then reinstall the same version. Okay, in case if we are upgrading from one version to another version, okay, what happens, the project that what we had created would be in a previous version. Okay, so for example, let's say I'm having a let's say project 1, and this was created in let's say version 7.10. Now there is a new version is up. Okay, so I'm installing. So what steps that I would do, I would uninstall 7.10. Okay, and install the 8.1.1. Okay, after I install 8.1.1, I will be opening. Okay, open the project. Okay, one, and this project will be in 7.1 version. Okay, this has to be migrated to the latest version, which is 8.1.1. So NeoLoad would prompt you whether if this project has to be migrated from the old version to the new version. Okay, you can go ahead and then click migrate. But before we do any migration from the old version to the new version, it is imperative to create a backup, some kind of uh, in case if we due to for some reason the latest version is unstable, right, then we have to roll back to the previous version. You can use the backed up version. Always remember, once the project is migrated to latest version, there is no going back. Okay, this migrated project cannot be opened in the older versions. So older versions becomes complete. Okay, I hope this is clear. If you have any questions, please ask me. If you did not understand what I said, okay, I hope it's clear. Now let's go to the license management. As you can see, there is no license here, so I'm going to use a license file. So I'm clicking on this, enter a license key. Then I will just go to downloads. This is where I have my trial license. I will open this. Okay, now you can see this, right? So this is valid till June 5, 2022, and it is on version 8.1. Okay, so I hope this is clear. I would like to once again go through. So we will go to triscientist.com, go to products, go to this performance testing using NeoLoad, click on free trial, and you see this go here to download the latest version. You can use your email address to sign up here, requesting a new trial. And if you click on this button, this will take you to Neotis website where you can download the installer. Before installing, if already a version is installed, uninstall it, do a fresh installation. once you have signed up, you can go to this neotest.com account area where you will find your license, trial license, and you can simply download it. Once the installation is done, you can go to the license management and enter a license key and then select the license key. So this will uh, install your license and you will have 30 days of license. Okay. So Sriram is asking whether if we can use our Gmail ID. Okay. So Sriram, unfortunately, recently some kind of restrictions that Tricentis started applying. Before we were able to use any email, Gmail or Yahoo or any email that is public domain, we were able to create or sign up for a trial license. But now they are making some restrictions that only official email ID is allowed to sign up. So you would probably need your uh, office ID, or maybe that is uncommon email IDs would also work, I believe. So you can give it a try on that. Okay. So any other questions before we get into the next topic?
Yes, yes,
Hi,
Naveen,
James.
this is James. I'm driving, as you know, I'm in US, so I've been driving, but I'm still following through. Is
Mhm.
there a way you're gonna get record this whole thing and it will be available so that I'll be able to go through that process?
Sorry, can you please repeat again? I did
I was
not.
asking, I said, I was
Mhm.
asking, I said, I'm driving, and so I'm following through on my phone. However, like because I'm driving, I cannot pay full attention. Now, my question
Mhm.
here is are you gonna record this um session so that I'll be able to go over
Yes,
it and know how to download the new load?
yes, James. All the sessions are
Okay.
recorded. All
Okay.
the
Then the
sessions are
other
recorded.
question here
Yeah.
is, yeah. Then the other question here is,
Mhm.
um, when you go to download that app, it's gonna ask you for a business account email, and how are we to create that business email?
Right. Either you should have an existing business email, you can use it,
Mhm.
or
Uh-huh.
try with uncommon email addresses. That is like, so Gmail is a popular
Yeah,
email
I tried that
provider.
one, but it won't let me do it. It won't let me do
Yes.
it. It says I have to contact them, and I was with Sana Muhammad, and he told me that if I try to contact them, it's going to take forever.
Right. Uh,
So we tried to bypass, we couldn't do it, and so I don't know what you can suggest with regards to that.
let me check with the institute,
Okay,
and then
okay,
I can provide you some solution for this.
no problem. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah, bye.
Okay. Okay. So let's proceed with the next topic. Okay. So I'm just going to simply expand all this transaction. Okay. Um, either either I can expand like this, or I can simply right click the action and then click on expand all. Okay. Okay. So this is a workflow which will be called as unauth. Okay. That is, it is not authenticated. Okay. It's an unauthenticated workflow. So what does this mean, like unauthenticated workflow, right? So I'm just going to this website. It's a popular e-commerce site. Okay. Not just this e-commerce, any e-commerce site that we take into consideration. Majority of the traffic is going to be unauthenticated transaction. Okay, that is little over 90% of the transaction. So if I'm just simply going here, go to this e-commerce site, I can what I would do is I'll just see if there is some deals are there, right? If something that is attractive to me, maybe I'll decide to buy. When I decide to buy, that is when I'm going to provide my credentials, add the item to cart, and then check out. Or maybe I even without providing the credentials, I can still add some item to cart, right? See this, right? There is some summer sale is going on, and I would like to, let's say, if I decide to go ahead with this TV, right? So I haven't identified my user. Okay, as you can see, it is still yet to be logged in, and I can still add this item to cart even without identifying the user, right? Maybe if I decide to buy this, now it will ask me to sign in. Okay, so all of this e-commerce site, right? Over 90% of the traffic is going to be unauthenticated. That is, the user is not identified. So this workflow, the core uh, is it is unauthenticated workflow. Okay, that is the user is not identified. Okay, now let's go ahead and record a simple workflow which the user will be identified, and let's compare how these unauthenticated transactions and authenticated transaction varies. Okay, so I'm going to record another workflow. Okay, I'm just going to name this as auth jpet, and here under this client, I'm going to go ahead with the Internet Explorer itself. I'll click on OK. So this would start uh, an instance, that is Internet Explorer instance. I'm going to launch. I'm just going to click on this link here. Okay, I have launched it. Now I'm going to sign in. Click on this sign in. Okay, I'm just going to say JPET user. I had already created this account. Hopefully, I think it should log in. Okay, this has logged me in. Okay, then what I'll do is I'll just want to log out, right? I don't want to do any major transactions, or maybe let's say I would like to go ahead and do some of these transactions that I had previously done. Okay, click fish, click angel fish, think, click item. Okay, and I'm selecting an item here. Then maybe I've decided to go back to home page. Okay, and then finally sign out. Just signing out from this website. And then I would stop it. Okay, so this is a post recording wizard. So whenever we get this wizard, we have to select the hosts that are in scope, unselect the hosts that are not in scope, click on next, skip this step, again click on next, again next. If you notice, when we did the unauthenticated workflow, we never got this form authentication selection, this page, right? We never got this, but now we are getting it. So let's further deep dive into this and explore. So for now, let's click next and then click on finish. Okay, so let's expand uh, both of them. Okay, so I'm expanding the unauthenticated and again on this authenticated. So how we can compare? Okay, so I can select like this. Okay, so this is a unauthenticated. Okay, so I'll just briefly just go through each and every request. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find any here, right, in this request parameters, if there is any dynamic values. Okay, so this is the unauthenticated. I'm just going through all these requests. Ideally this gifs, css, jpegs, all of them are embedded resources, or in other words it is non-html resources. Usually we will disable it, but based on the business and the requirement we can enable it or disable it. Okay, so here I'm seeing some view product id is getting passed, some item id is getting passed, and I haven't seen any uh, dynamic values here. Let's go through on the uh, authenticated workflow. Okay, so I think this is the home page. Home page should be very similar to unauthenticated. There is no virtually there is no difference here. And as you can see here, right, this is we are in the login. Okay, in the login, what all the data that is getting passed? Username and password. Username and password is the information that we had provided while recording, and this source page and fp we haven't provided this, right, but still it became a part of the script. Okay, this is what we are going to call this as a dynamic values, or values that needs to be handled. Okay, and the concept that we are going to handle this dynamic values is called as correlation. Okay, fine. uh, let's further look. Okay, so click fish, there is nothing here. Clicking on angelfish, again nothing here as well. And home page, nothing. Okay, so let's minimize or collapse all the transactions that does not have any authenticated requirement. Okay, so I'm just going to briefly minimize this as well. Okay, so I have done this. All right, fine. So if you see in this entire workflow, login is the only transaction that has this dynamic values, and hence this transaction is going to be called as authenticated transaction. Okay, authenticated transactions are going to be very important, and it this kind of controls the entire script. Okay, in case if login fails, then all other subsequent transactions is going to fail. Okay, because the user is how the script will work, it will work as a like kind of a waterfall, right? Uh, in the last session we have seen while checking the user path. Okay, let me show this. Okay, I'm going to go here, advanced, change this handle cache new user, and then click on start checking. So what would happen? It will start um, in sequence, that is a launch would get executed, then fish, then clicking on angelfish, then click on item, and then home page. I think some error, it is because of an assertion error, I guess. If if I go here, validation, okay, I will just remove this. Okay, I no longer need them. I'll just remove it. Okay, I'm saving it. I'm once again rechecking so that we have a clean run. Okay, so how this is executing? So first launch, then click fish. So one by one, right? Similarly, this is applicable for auth jpet script as well. Okay, so in case if the login fails, then the entire script would fail. Okay, so let's look at some introduction. Just a moment, just pausing. Okay, so I'm resharing it. Okay, fine. So uh, so since uh, it would take some time for us to understand and grasp on this authenticated transactions and how we are going to manage this. Okay, we will continue and take it up in the upcoming session how we can handle these values. Okay, now let me continue with this. Okay, a little bit on the further introduction about performance. Okay, one moment. Okay, so just a performance testing intro. Okay, so why we need performance testing? It is to determine the performance of the application under load. Okay, here under load is most likely it is peak load. Okay, so why do we need a performance testing? Okay, um, if the application is not fast enough, okay, we might lose the business to our competitors, right? So I just tried opening Amazon website. If Amazon does not load within, let's say, 10 seconds or 20 seconds, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into some other web page, right? Some other e-commerce. So there is a opportunity lost. Okay, and yes, faster the website, more the revenue. Okay, and we any business, right? We also have to look at these um, aspects. That is how scalable it is, stability, and robustness. There are businesses which is highly limited, right? For example, if we take a restaurant business, so restaurant business is I mean, we cannot scale it beyond a certain point. Okay, most likely when a restaurant business would run, it, they have a very limited amount of working time, right? That is maybe during the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Only during these times that their business would run, and the other times mostly it will not be working, right? And that is not the case with any e-commerce or any applications. Or if we look at Facebook or any social media, it is almost 24/7 365, right? There is nothing like business hours, there is nothing like non-business hours, right? And that is the only reason that these companies were able to grow the giant, right? And they will still grow, and they have also figured it out how they can scale it, and be reliable, and have a very good stable and robust business. And that is why that they have become a huge company, right? That is the, you can see this now, it is the, I think it is Meta, it is called as Meta. So they have uh, a good portfolio of all these social media companies, right? Fine. So if any business that fails to scale, for example, I think so there was a app called as Signal became kind of a trend when WhatsApp started imposing some uh, kind of a some policy related things. Okay, Signal unable to capitalize because they were having scaling issues, right? Because of that, they lost a very good opportunity to become a maybe a competitor to WhatsApp. Still, right? Because they couldn't capture it, scale it, and most of the times the signal was down. Even I tried to use it personally, but yes. So if I mean, we never know, right, when the opportunity knocks, and we have to be ready. And of course, this is one such example that that how performance becomes sometimes the core part of the business, where it helps us to helps the business to grow. Okay, so all these aspects are very vital for any business to grow, especially on that is a digital business, right? Fine. So let's also look at these, right? So when we say performance testing, okay, it is not one one single type of test. It's not like how a functional test or an automation test is done. Okay, testing has a different types of testing under it. Okay, and all of these different types of test has different purpose and objective associated with that. Okay, let's quickly look at some of the types. Okay, load test. A load test is almost synonymous to performance testing. Okay, ideally, if somebody says performance testing, most likely they are referring to load test. Load test is just application under peak user load. Okay, there is a stress test. Usually, stress test is done uh, until the application is broken, or we can see how much we can push the application, okay, until it breaks. Smoke test, it is used to determine the stability, right? How long it can run without any major uh, impediments on the system. Soak test can also be called as endurance test. Smoke test is a type of test where it is usually done for validating the scripts, uh, validating the environment, test data, and various other aspects about the execution. Usually, this test is run between 10 minutes to half an hour. Spike test, it's a kind of a scenario where there is a sudden jump in the user load capacity. Uh, it is used to find the uh, final capacity. So there is a small error here. So it is used to find the upper limit of the uh, test. Okay. So with this, we will close it for today, and the floor is open for questions. If anybody has any questions, I would like to answer. You can also use chat box to type it in. Okay, I take that as a no. Sorry about the noise.
Yeah. So Naveen.
Yes,
So yeah. So how much protocol does NeoLoad support?
NeoLoad
And
has three protocol support. Web, web services. Anyways, it's a part of web itself. SAP GUI and Citrix.
like in Jmeter we have HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, SMTP.
Yes, all of them are yes support. I mean, if you are looking, so all of them are also supported by NeoLoad. Okay, but I was just looking. I was telling in terms of when you see this, right? There is web, there is web services, and then there is a you can also call it like Cbel. So there are support for all of these protocols. Whatever the protocol you mentioned, there is a support for them as well.
Okay.
HTTP, all of them falls under web only.
Yeah, right. HTTP, HTTPS.
Yes.
Okay. So one more questions. If some of someone from us is not working professional, so how he can download the new load?
Sorry, I did not get you.
Suppose we do not have any business ID for downloading
Uh-huh.
new load, right?
Right, right.
So for that, what we can do?
So I will find it out. I will find out solution for you. Even James' question was the same thing. I will find out, or if possible, we will procure license and deliver it to you personally. Okay, that can be done.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
can also be done. Okay. So Sanchita is asking, what is volume testing? Okay. Thanks for this question. So volume testing is largely on the database side, right? Way to find the performance of a database. So when I say a performance of a database, so to create one record, right? Sometimes what it happens is it has to go through different tables, right? Uh, so let's say we are creating an order. Okay, that means we are making an order in Amazon. uh, I don't know the how the architecture is going to be in the backend, but generic idea is going to be there would be something like order book, okay, which will have like who has ordered, what item has ordered, and when it has ordered, all this information. So when these are involved, if we say who has ordered, then there is going to be kind of account or user table where uh, it has to work with. So user table would be involved, and which product or item has been ordered, then there is going to be an inventory table that is going to be involved, right? So like this, to create one record in a table, different other tables also would be involved. Okay, so overall, when an order is placed, or especially this as, I mean, if you see right now, for every minute there is going to be a million order is placed as we speak. Over a million order is getting placed in Amazon website. Okay, so creating a million order in 1 minute, it is, you get it right, it is a highly resource intensive, and to test that, volume testing is used. Okay, where there would be a huge volume of data which gets pushed into the database, and then to check how the database performance is. Okay, ideally that is when the volume testing is used. even the volume testing will fall under performance as well. Okay. Yes, we will be having huge Excel files or maybe CSV files, like 100 MB or maybe even large files which will have a pre-populated data. Okay, this data would be pushed into the database, and and then there will be like different kind of counters that would be involved in the database, right? There will be like a number of connections, uh, some buffers, cached, different types of counters would be involved, and we can see by looking at these counters how the database health is, right? So we will discuss all of them as we progress when we discuss about monitors. Okay. Okay, so anybody has any other questions, any query from the course perspective? Okay, so I guess there are no questions. I think we can wrap it up. So I hope these two sessions was informative, and please take your time to evaluate, and we might have few more sessions, okay, before a more concentrated group would be created. Okay, so if you wish to enroll, please enroll. So we will next we will meet on Monday. Okay, thanks for joining. Have a happy weekend.